the fundamental human reality, is the search for happiness. Now, we have different definitions of happiness, and Imam Al-Ghazali goes through each one of them. Some people define happiness as pleasure, but like the Buddhists say, the problem with pleasure is that every earthly pleasure is only temporary. So when I'm eating, I have the pleasure of food, but it comes to an end, and I can't just keep eating because I get full. And I'll actually get sick if I keep eating. The pleasure of sexuality comes to an end, and it's over. And then again, I can't keep doing it because the body can't take it. It's as simple as that. And the pleasure of sleep, somebody said, you know, what is the pleasure of sleep? Is it when you're sleeping? Well, it can't be because you're asleep. So is it before sleep? And then it's not really the pleasure of sleep. Is it after sleep? Then it's not really the pleasure of sleep. So what is it? But we all recognize sleep as a pleasurable thing, the gentle tyrant. So he looks at all these things, and then he quotes Imam Ali, and he said, you know, what a wondrous thing the world is. The greatest, there's only 5 things that everybody really derives pleasure in. Drink, food, scent, cloth, and sexuality. And he said, in the sensory thing, I mean, there's companionship and things like that, those are different, but he's talking about senses. And so he says, the highest drink is water. And he said it's ahqarul ashya, it's the least of things in the world. He said the highest food is the vomit of bees, honey. He said the highest cloth is the excrement of worms, which is silk. And then he said the highest smell is the mucus of a gazelle, the musk odor. And then he said, and the greatest pleasure in the world is the meeting of the 2 urinary tracts. So there's the world. So he said that can't be what happiness is. That can't be the ultimate. If it is, I mean, it's you know, a real trick's being played on us. And then he looks at position and wealth and power and all these other things that people pursue. And again, he says the problem with them is that beauty is an intangible. It's in the eye of the beholder. It's something that we can lose at any moment. It's something that the more you examine it, the more elusive it is. You know, if you see a beautiful woman, like Dr. Naqib al-Attas said, if you see a beautiful woman and you take a magnifying glass to try to get a closer look, and suddenly you're at the level of pores, she's no longer beautiful. She's porous. So all of those aspects that people consider happiness. So he says, in the end, what is happiness? Happiness is virtue. Happiness is living a virtuous life. And he says, and virtue is predicated on knowledge and action, right knowledge and right action.